All right, I want to bring in now for more reaction is former acting attorney general. He's also the senior fellow at American Cornerstone Institute, Matthew Whitaker. Obviously, you know 45 very well. He did it. He has staved off a seizure day and turned it into a victory day, Matt.
He did, and obviously it's a big victory, but it's not complete. I think the thing that was happening in this case is you're reading these stories about how Sam Bankman-Fried and his bond, and you're reading about Bernie Madoff and his bond, and the courts in New York were getting really, really nervous that they were becoming a joke and no one would want to do business. Because remember, the most important thing about not only the New York legal system, why people do business in New York, but the American legal system is that it's fair, unbiased, and you can count on the results. It's consistent. And so you're seeing this weaponized against one person, could be done against anybody else. And obviously the New York courts are very sensitive, especially at the appeals level, to what Judge Engoron did here when there's, to the point others made, no victim, no basis for this judgment in the first place, and a kind of a number that was untethered to any relation to any other number.
Let's put this aside now and talk about what is happening inside the courthouse where John Glasgow stands. There's a 45-minute recess. They could be picking up any moment now. We'll be monitoring Trump's movements and comments as well. But Matt, this is for the payments case to Stormy Daniels, non-disclosure, things people do all the time, but their last name isn't Donald Trump. And these documents that they asked for a long time ago were just revealed and handed over. Trump's team is alleging that the U.S. Attorney's Office and the FBI violated this Section 245 Subdivision 1, to which Judge Merchan was shot back, saying, and that includes me, and saying the U.S. Attorney's Office never collaborated in any way, shape, or form. You've been, in some major prosecutions as the former, acting attorney general. Was there a violation here to withhold information that could have been helpful to Trump? But in a strange way, doesn't this help him now because he's got more of a delay?
Yeah. Well, as a former U.S. attorney as well, I know a lot of these things very well. And what I will tell you is that you can't drop tens of thousands of pages of documents on a defendant on the eve of trial and not expect them to have time to prepare. No matter what Alvin Bragg suggests the contents of these documents are, a defendant certainly has the right to review and consider these documents and if necessary, make them part of their defense. But you also, I guess what's more important is you have an absolute duty as a prosecutor to turn over not only exculpatory information, but obviously derogatory information about your own witnesses. For example, Michael Cohen. And so that's where this delay has come about. And I think this, the less time they give him to prepare for this trial with these, again, tens of thousands of pages of documents delivered on the eve of the original trial date, I think the more unfair this appears and the more it looks like a railroad job. And, remember this case, we've talked about it before, it's so weak. It is based on a federal election campaign theory that both the Southern District of New York and the Federal Election Commission rejected. And so I just don't think this case, from all the cases that he faces right now, it is by far the weakest.
Yeah, the former DA didn't want to bring this case. For some reason, Alvin Bragg did. We'll obviously watch that as Trump's movements outside of court could be happening momentarily. Matthew Whitaker, pleasure to have you in. Thanks so much for the analysis. Good to see you.
Good to see you again. Thank you.
Thank you.